Hi everyone, this is Frank Plunkett, your instructor for criminology in the September quarter here at ITT in Levittown. Just wanted to reach out and test out the Google Hangouts on air that I will be using for office hours during our course in the quarter. I'll be broadcasting from various places here in my office or in a classroom or wherever. So to tell you a little bit about the upcoming course, for those of you that are not aware, I did send everybody an email and talk to some people last quarter. We are going to be using a couple of different technological things to help enhance our course and make it more interesting and engaging to all of you. And one of those will be this office hour, which will be totally voluntary. But if you're having questions, you have problems, I'm going to schedule, say, an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, once or twice a week, where I will go online and then you can join me and ask questions in the group. Now, this particular venue allows for up to 10 people to participate live, but there also is an option for chat, so you can send messages. So if you cannot get into the group that's participating live, you can simply send basically a chat message and ask a question, and then I will repeat the question for the group, explaining whatever concept that you might have some problems with, whether it has to do with the actual course material from your textbook, which is an ebook this quarter. This is a hard copy book, my copy. Keep in mind, it's going to be an ebook this quarter, and ebooks are accessible. Most of you have had ebooks in the past in courses. Those of you coming directly from Justice Administration did have an ebook, so you know how that works. You can log into the LMS, the ITT virtual education platform or distance education platform, and click on the course, then click on the book, and that book will be added to your bookshelf account. I'll go over this the first day of class to make sure everybody's on board and everybody knows how to get to their book, because it is very important that you do get to the textbook and understand how to use it, because there's a lot of obviously very important concepts. This course requires a quiz like once a week, so the lectures are going to be very important, and I'm going to continue the process that we did in Justice Administration. And I've told the folks, there's another group of people coming from Intro to Criminal Justice to our criminology class this quarter, that we will be doing online lectures. Now, I have two options for that. I'm trying to try a new option. If I can get the appropriate software installed. I was trying to do it right here on my computer at my desk, but I couldn't get it without administrative position, and our computer guy is out this week, so I'll probably be doing it from home or from this laptop that I have sitting here. But that's going to be something called Office Mix, which is a Microsoft product that attaches itself to PowerPoint and allows me to do both the PowerPoints and also do quizzes within the lecture and add videos within the lecture, so that I can gauge participation and we can make it more interesting and vibrant during that lecture. I'm going to try to keep the lecture modules as short as I can. Of course, they're based upon the existing PowerPoints that come with the course, which are basically a chapter apiece. Some of them are quite lengthy. When you view them, and we'll talk about this in class when we start next week, it might be a good idea that you view them in, say, 15-minute segments. I mean, you have a whole week from the time I put it up until class. Hopefully, I'll be on time. And if you do them in like 15, 20-minute segments, then it won't be as difficult for those of you that can't sit and pay attention, because you really need to pay attention to those lectures. Because you will have a quiz every week. It'll be based upon the lecture material, and your options for doing well on the quiz is to watch the lecture, read the textbook chapter, and there's another option, which is a digital option I'm going to show you. The textbook has a page that goes along with it. There's a companion page that goes along with the textbook that actually has the quiz questions on it, and you can take the quiz multiple times online to see how well you're going to do. I haven't decided yet, we'll have this decided before the first week of class, whether I might want to do digital quizzes Obviously, some of you are a little bit leery about the digital world, and so I want to take it slow. But it's also important that when you get out to the field of criminal justice, that you do understand the digital world, because a lot of things that we're going to do, whether you're sitting in a police car, you know, you think you're going to go out and play cops and robbers. I know a lot of you want to be police officers. You know, there's hands-on, there's catching bad guys, and there's all kinds of stuff that goes on. But then there's back in the car typing up a report on a laptop that's in your police vehicle. And some of you are going to be carrying tablets, certainly smartphones. There's all kinds of digital stuff that's out there. And one of the things that you get out of using digital stuff in school is that generalization, that learning is something you're going to carry with you, where it's going to be easier for you to do and use those tools in your work environment if you're already doing them. You've already done them in school. So if you are a little leery of this digital stuff and you think, well, I just want to do hands-on stuff, know that when you get in the field, digital is going to be there. And I don't care what part of the field you're going to get into. A cop on the street is still going to deal with the digital. If you're out walking a beat, which is really cool. I worked on a bicycle for a few years. That was a blast. And all I had, my digital was my phone and my radio. But now they're giving officers smartphones, and maybe they're typing the reports from the field, or they have to come into the station. One way or the other, you got to get the report done. And that's going to happen. So just be aware. So where are we at? We have video streams for your lectures. Like I said, office mix is my preferred way to do it next quarter. Last quarter with the criminal justice administration class, we did it through YouTube videos, which are all still available in a folder called Justice Administration Videos. So those are my two options, depending upon what works and what doesn't work. This is also a really good option I can do if anybody wants to actually participate live. When I record the lecture, I could actually record the lecture in a Google Hangout. Up to 10 of you could actually sit and pay attention during the lecture and actually ask me questions during the online lecture. And then everybody else who didn't have the time or didn't desire to do it live can then watch, and they can benefit from the questions asked by the other students. It might make it a little bit longer, but it also going to address some of your concerns. I know one person came to me and concerned that, well, if you don't do the lecture in class and I have to watch the lecture, what happens when I want to ask a question? And I'm thinking, if I do it through this platform, which I hadn't thought about till like just this minute, if I do it through this platform, it'll give at least 10 of you the option of asking questions, because you could we could schedule the lecture when I'm going to do it, and then you could participate while I'm doing it. And then everybody else, I think there's like 25 people in our class, everybody else could get it whenever they were available. So it makes it so that if you want it live, you can get it. And if you don't have the time to be there when it's live, you can do it whenever. So, we'll have to talk about that next week when we get to class. Class is on Fridays. Hopefully you'll all remember to be there at 9 o'clock in the morning. Still thinking about whether I may want to actually do a mini lecture at 9 on the dot, so that, we make sure that everybody's up to the same speed. And then those of you that did watch the lecture at online could actually stream in at 10 and take the quiz, and we move on to our activities. So that we can discuss, because that might help some of you that have a problem with the digital world, and kind of break you into it slowly. Okay. So, and the other thing that we're doing, a technology thing, is called Edmodo. And that's the one thing I'm adding. So we went from Justice Administration, where we had the online lectures. Now I'm adding this Edmodo. And the simple thing about Edmodo is all it's going to be, and some of you have taken online courses, all it's going to be is there's going to be a discussion question posted every week based upon the lecture. So this way I can verify that you're actually watching the lecture. So as soon as you're completed the lecture, you go and you do the discussion question, and then it'll be graded accordingly. And I may actually put the grade right there on the Edmodo page, because it has the ability to do that. I'm still debating whether I might even put the quizzes up there, so we can get the quizzes done before anybody comes to class. And then anybody who didn't do the quiz, I just say, well, go into the LRC or go in the lab and do the quiz. And then we don't have to spend time in class doing quizzes. So, you know, that's stuff that makes class time, hopefully we can do more engaging stuff or watch videos about serial killers. And, you know, criminology, there's not a lot of hands-on stuff because I'm not going to send you out in the field to kill people. I'm not going to send you out in the field to do a study. I can't do that, although that would be really cool. There's some anthropologists that we'll talk about that are doing that kind of really cool thing where people are, they're going out. There was an anthropologist and a bunch of his helpers that were actually living, and they may still be living in Kensington and studying, you know, what is going on there in Kensington. You know, whether it's, you know, the crime, the drug use, all the stuff that's going on down there, prostitution, and how is the environment down there related to the crime problem down there. So Edmodo is pretty cool. If you haven't done it yet, you need to log in. I did send out an access. If you didn't get the access or it's not working, one person came in to me just the other day, said they were locked out. We can fix that right away. Or you can request permission to join, and I should be able to just enter you right away, because I had 2 people that just joined the other day. I had one person who, you know, was really, really motivated, and I'll mention her name, Michelle Smith, who actually logged in like the week I sent the email. So that's pretty cool. So right now I got 3 people that are logged into this Edmodo. There is a quiz there. It's like a pre-test, and I didn't intend it to be graded. However, Edmodo, the quizzes that they have there, they only allow you to select one correct answer, but the quiz really doesn't have correct answers. So don't get upset when it tells you your answer is wrong. Like there's one, it says, are you in your 2nd, 3rd, or 4th quarter? Well, some of you are in 2nd, some of them are going to be in 3rd. So one of those answers Edmodo thinks is right. Well, they're both right, depending on who you are. There's one that asks you going to be a police officer, corrections officer, other allied criminal justice person. Obviously, whatever answer you put is right. But Edmodo is going to tell you maybe that your answer is wrong. Don't worry about it. I chose a quiz. I probably should have used a poll. That's another option. We'll try that later on. This is a learning process. This is the way education is going in a lot of places. So be aware of that, especially those of you that are going on for bachelor's or master's degrees. You may have a lot of this kind of stuff, probably more detail than what I'm doing. So I'm kind of breaking in people into it slowly. Okay, so, and this is going to be one of those things as well. So we talked about the fact that I'm doing a Google Hangouts for office hours, and may actually think about doing my recorded lecture in Google Hangouts so people can actually participate live. That's a neat option. The other 2 ways that we could do the lecture is through the Office Mix, which I'd have to send you a link, which would take you to a Microsoft page where that lecture would be stored. Now, each of you having a Office 365 account through ITT have an immediate access into that with your ITT email address, and your password is an Office 365 account. So that should actually mesh pretty well. You also have storage that goes along with that account as well, and I'm still looking at how to share files through that way. Last quarter I shared files through Dropbox, but you all have this Office 365 and the SkyDrive, or whatever that drive that Microsoft has is called, and it's available to you. So take a look at my YouTube page if you haven't yet, the YouTube channel. Well, obviously, if you're looking at this, you're probably looking at YouTube, because I didn't invite anybody to the live broadcast, except it is public, so there might be some people watching me right now. I don't know, but got the Google Hangouts, the Office Mix, the YouTube. Our videos will be done one of those ways. Edmodo for our discussion questions and maybe quizzes. And the other technology is you all have an ebook that you need to learn how to access, and we'll go over that the first day. But you should all have already had an ebook. So you already have an ebook. You should already know how to access it. You just need to go back into the LMS, click on a course, click on a book. It'll be transferred over to your bookshelf account, and you'll be good to go there. But if you have any questions, obviously don't hesitate to call me. I'm on campus through Friday afternoon during this break week, and then I'll be back Monday at 2 because I have a night class. I'm actually teaching strategies next quarter. So, and then those of you that just had strategies, maybe you should give me some tips and tricks how to best present that class, because the whole idea of that class is to give people tools, tips, and tricks to make them better in their other classes, study skills, understanding how you learn, all those types of things. And this will be the first time that I've done this class. Obviously, I have a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge in that area, but the first time actually using the courseware for that strategy. So maybe I know there's 7 people that just finished it. You can tell me, what worked well with the instructor you had, what didn't work well. I know a couple you had night class, a couple you had day class. So you let me know. All right, I think this will conclude our session, as I have nobody live to ask me questions anyway. And I just wanted to test this out, maybe give you some basic information about class. Like I said, you should access your ebook right away and maybe start looking at the first chapter and look for an announcement of the actual lecture, like today or tonight, so you can be in. And it looks like somebody wants me, so catch you later.